Are you missing out on important moments in life because your nose is buried in your device? You may want to think about taking part in National Day of Unplugging, which begins at sunrise tomorrow.
It's an annual 24-hour digital detox from technology. Can we do it? Joining us with some tips on how to unplug is the founder of ReConnect, digital media and families educator, Julia Storm. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
All right. Tell us about today, what people are doing across the country to join this movement.
Yeah, so this movement, which started about 10 years ago, a little bit less than that, has actually really taken hold recently. And there are events, large and small, happening all over the country. Here in Los Angeles, there's a couple of big events, one on the west side, one on the east side. But more importantly, people are really taking it on personally and getting their communities involved, their friends involved, having a dinner party where you leave your phone at the door, you check your phone at the door, having a picnic day where everybody leaves their devices at home. So it's something that's really taking hold right now.
Okay, what do you suggest tomorrow people can make one step to be less plugged in?
Yeah.
What can they do?
Yeah, well, it can definitely feel like a challenge for a lot of us. So one thing I really recommend is that you find a buddy, like the way you would if you wanted to go on a diet or something, right? So enlist a friend and just say, I want to try this. I want to take on this challenge. Will you do it with me? We can, 2 days later, we can talk about it on social media and compare notes. Do you want to do this with me? And sort of that way you can kind of support each other. I think that's one good thing to do. Also, a lot of us kind of can't unplug all the way because our work is fully linked into our computers or whatever. So maybe just pick one thing. Maybe you're a news junkie, and so you decide to ditch the news for 24 hours.
No.
Don't do that. Just kidding. No. Never ditch the news. Maybe you can't stop scrolling through social media, so you take a social media detox. Whatever it is, if you can't unplug all the way, that's okay, but just take a little time to put one thing aside.
My phone tells me every week when I've reduced the amount of screen time, and I really get satisfaction out of that when I see that it has gone down.
Yeah.
And you say to lower the number of minutes. You actually tell us to get an app, which seems counterintuitive. This one called Like Moment?
Moment.
Oh, okay, Moment.
Yeah. Well, now a lot of our phones come with basically a built-in app that can track your time. But Moment is a great app. It works in the background of your phone. You don't have to touch, you don't have to do anything after you download it. But what it does is it gives you a little report on how you're using your time on your phone. What time of day do you go on particular apps? How your time is allocated. And it's really, really interesting to see, like, oh, at this time of day, I tend to spend this amount of time on Instagram, and it gives you just a little more consciousness.
I have to go to my device to see.
But I know.
I mean, I guess it can't be arbitrary like this, but 5 hours a day, I would tell you, is too much. Is 1 hour a day appropriate? What's
for social
just being
media
on your
or for
phone?
being on your phone?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to say. I think you just kind of have to feel it out. It's like, how do you, for me, if I'm on my phone, honestly, straight for 45 minutes, I just start to feel really antsy inside. And if you take the time to focus and really track how you're feeling, you'll notice naturally when it's time to put it down. And it takes a little bit of practice, I think, but it's different for everybody.
You suggest doing a spring cleaning on your phone.
Yes.
What can we do for that?
Yeah, so a lot of times I'll look at my clients' phones and it's like 6 pages of apps, What are all these apps? Are they really necessary? So much like you would for a closet, you go through each page and you go, what do I really need here? Because it's a lot of clutter to be looking at all day, and a lot of it is really not necessary. So you go through, you pick the apps you really need, you really look at, the ones that are most fun for you, ditch the rest, and then what I like to do is I like to create folders. So I have, a music folder, and everything music related goes in there, or a social folder. And that way it's like, it's more organized. It's not as overwhelming when you look at your phone.
If you have kids, how do we approach them about this to reduce their screen?
Yeah, that's the real challenge. Well, one thing I would say that's a good starting point is figuring out what can be a screen-free zone for your family. Because right off the bat, if you say, for example, the dinner table is always screen-free, or the car is always screen-free unless it's a long road trip, then right there, you've basically knocked out 2 areas where you're screen-free for a while. So screen-free zones, bedrooms are really good to keep screen-free. Once you choose 1, 2, or 3 screen-free zones, you've automatically lowered the amount of time your kid is going to spend on their screen.
Julia, good stuff. For more information on National Day of Unplugging, go to nationaldayofunplugging.com or follow them on social media for more information on Julia's company, ReConnect, and their group. I had to giggle when I said it. Their group online classes and one-on-one consults. Go to reconnect-families.com. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.